Okay, now the festive season is here. Thousands of people leaving Gauteng to get to various home destinations, various metros launching festive season road operations aimed at decreasing accidents and traffic. We have Nqobile Madlala, who's monitoring volumes of traffic along the Mabopane Highway in Pretoria in Tshwane. And down in the Cape, we have Nobesuthu Hejana this hour as well, in and around Cape Town, been monitoring the situation there. Nobesuthu, let's start with you this hour. What have you been noticing? I've heard reports that it's pretty quietish in and around Cape Town compared to expectations.
Certainly, Braden. In fact, we are opposite the toll gate, not far from the Huguenot Tunnel. In this stretch of road, you would expect or see quite a number of cars queuing up here, but things are a bit different this year. It's been fairly quiet on the streets of Cape Town. We drove around looking for roadblocks, but there's nothing happening today, apart from an operation that is conducted by the city of Cape Town, where they were in Wingfield and checking road worthiness in a number of vehicles, and also checking if motorists do have licenses. And so far, what we heard from the chief of traffic in the city, they did say that it looks like motorists have been cooperating this year. They haven't found any wrongdoings, or all the cars that they've stopped, they are in fact in the right condition. But in terms of areas where we would normally see quite a number of cars queuing up, especially for the long distance around this time or in the festive season, it's been fairly quiet around Cape Town. Cars are moving quite smoothly. There aren't any traffic or long queues around here. So it's been fairly quiet around Cape Town, considering that the country is on alert level 1 and people can travel to their destinations of choice, but the roads are very quiet.
Okay, Nobesuthu, let's go to the Mabopane Highway. Let's come here to Gauteng, the Mabopane Highway in Tshwane, in the Pretoria area. Well, Nqobile, earlier when I spoke to you, you were on the N1 highway going north. We saw how busy it was there at the Pumlani Plaza. You've since moved to check out the situation on the Mabopane Highway. Cape Town is quiet. What's happening where you are in Mabopane?
Well, quite different, Braden. I actually want to show you so you see for yourself. Very busy here. Now, you'll remember people will be traveling from in and around Pretoria, going through Mabopane Highway into the N1 and into the N4. Now, we know these leads to Limpopo as well as Rustenburg, but the police are saying that they're clamping down here because before breaking the law even gets as far as going to the highway, you will have to pass through them, and they are looking at whether or not the vehicle is roadworthy. So they're looking at your tires, your disc, your handbrake. We've seen some of the people even getting tickets from the fact that their handbrake is not working properly, because this also, you remember that Pretoria was saying, City of Tshwane was saying that it's very important that they make sure that there's no fatalities on these roads, and that's what they're trying to stop. So they are clamping down from the start before it even gets to the freeway, as well as also checking on the driver himself to ensure that the driver can in fact drive. Are they intoxicated? Are they fatigued? All those things that they are looking for. But I want to bring in TMPD's spokesperson to sort of give us an idea. I mean, we see that you're out in full force on the road, but what is it exactly that you're doing today?
Good afternoon again, Nqobile, and to the viewers. Remember when we launched our festive plan, we indicated that we'll be looking for roadworthiness of the vehicles and driver to fitness. What does that mean? As you indicated earlier on about roadworthiness, we check the entire motor vehicle, whether is it in good condition to be on the road or not. And we check the driver, whether is he fit to be on the road. For instance, is he carrying proper documentation? Like what's happening now here, we stopped over, or we issued fines of about almost to 100 at this stage, and most of them, they are taxi operators who are still driving. They are the taxi drivers carrying passengers without a proper public driving permit. So most of them, they've been issued with this fine. They are using an excuse of COVID to say they could not renew, but most of them, their permits have expired in 2016, 2017. So then there were no COVID and they had ample time to make sure that they renew. So we're issuing them fine for that. And we have, again, another foreign drivers who are driving without driver's licenses at all. Remember, when you're a foreigner, when you come into South Africa, you need to make sure that you convert into a South African driving license. So most of them, they don't have. And again, this space of area, it's a space where it's a hot spot to us. Most of the accidents are happening here. Most of the people, they'll go into the local area, get drunk, use this place of road, to drive here, and that's where they cause accidents. Remember, in the past, we lost about 2 members on the very same spot, and the driver was suspected to be under the influence of liquor. But we are saying entirely, Nqobile, our operations are yielding results. Again, this morning, we made a huge arrest in R513 just next to Brett's Road, whereby we arrested 3 people who were carrying suspected scrap metal, cable theft specifically. And those scrap metal, the estimated street value is what, about 1 ± a million. So it's a huge success from the TMPD, and we are saying it yielding results at this stage, and we will continue to monitor all the areas within the CBD or outside the CBD of Tshwane. Our operations are strategically. There are times where we'll move into the local townships where we're going to check the compliance to COVID, where we are going to make sure that the pubs, they close on time and there's enough people that are required according to the COVID regulations in that particular pubs that we'll be visiting.
Yep. I just also want to find out, we know that you are arresting people at this point, but also what are sort of tips that you can perhaps give to motorists at this point, because they're driving long distances. We know some of them are driving as far as 600 kilometers, even further, others to the sub-Saharan countries using just the N1. What are the tips that, and what exactly specifically will you be looking for as well?
The most important thing is to break your trip. You cannot drive, for instance, from Joburg up until Limpopo. You have to rest. It saves lives. Again, in that stretch of N1, most of the accidents that have happened, you will check that fatigue. The driver was sleeping. So we are advising them that when you feel that you are tired, stop to the nearest police station, stop to the nearest saving station or petrol station, rest. It's very important, and it will save your life. And again, we are saying, make sure that you check your motor vehicle, whether is it in good condition. You saw some of the taxi operators that we spotted here. Their cars, they don't have brakes, they don't have hand brakes. So that causes, accidents. That's why we are saying, before you leave or before you undertake any trip, just make sure that you check your vehicle, whether is it in good condition. And again, the drivers, make sure that you get enough rest.
Thank you very much. TMPD, their spokesperson Isaac Mahamba, speaking to us about what exactly the TMPD is looking for. You will remember, Bradan, we had a conversation much earlier on, and you asked me in terms of the presence. This is the presence that we are now seeing, but also as we were driving from the N1, we also started to see more police coming into the N1 to ensure that they are looking for exactly what Isaac Mahamba was speaking to us with regards to the driver's fitness, as well as the vehicle in terms of whether or not they are complying to be on the road.
Yeah, it's going to be a very busy, long night for the law enforcement agencies in the coming weeks. That's what's happening on the Mabopane Highway, very busy there. Now, let's go back to Cape Town. Nobesuthu, I hope you can still hear me. Have you been speaking to the local authorities? For example, you said there should be roadblocks that they were planning in the Western Cape, but you haven't seen any yet. Are they planning to ramp up their law enforcement activities later on this weekend?
Certainly, Bradan. In fact, when we spoke to the City of Cape Town's traffic chief, he did say that they'll be conducting their operations in different areas or different sites around Cape Town and different, or rather random stops to ensure that they make sure that people, they do keep within the laws of the road, and that people, they do behave or make sure that the rules are kept. And he was also encouraging people to make sure that when they drive long distances, they are well rested. And he also said that they will be strict on drunk driving, because we know that at this time of the year, many people will be enjoying their cold ones, and there are no limitation in terms of like the sales on alcohol this year. So they were saying that they are ensuring that people do keep within the rules of the road, but those operations are expected to carry out throughout the province.
Okay, thank you very much. Nobesuthu Hejana there in the Cape Town area, and to Nqobile Madlala there along the Mabopane Highway.